Okay, it looks like we are live. Hopefully somebody in chat can do the thing and tell me if the video is working all right, if you can see me, all that good stuff that makes a stream possible, but it is really hard to check on my end. Oh, hold on 1 second. I was playing on my phone. It's getting kind of confusing there. Okay, so what we are going to do tonight is I'm going to give a brief recap of my campaign thus far, and I'm going to prepare for the session we're playing tomorrow night. So my home campaign is based on the classic adventure Night's Dark Terror, and I have the adventure pulled up right here. Or at least it was for the first 5 sessions. First 5 sessions were pretty railroady. I wouldn't say railroady, it was a linear adventure right out of the book. And then it sort of opened up into a big sandbox. Literally a sandbox, because we are playing in sort of like Fantasy Arabia, Ancient Persia, Sword and Sandals type setting. With a bit of Romania sprinkled on top, because that's what the original adventure is. It's set in Fantasy Romania, Transylvania land. So, that's sort of the general idea. Classic adventure, and Fantasy Arabia. So here is what happened thus far. The characters started off, we meet in a tavern, nice and easy. And they're supposed to go pick up some horses from a homestead and then deliver the horses to a tribe of elves. But when they arrive at the homestead, they find out that it is under attack by a whole group of goblins led by this hobgoblin chief, Zaire. Eventually they find out that the hobgoblins they were paid to raid all these homesteads by this guy called Gorik. He's pictured right there in the adventure, who is a master of the Iron Ring. The Iron Ring is a group of criminals. They're, raiders and slavers and all around nasty people. So, what the players know, and their characters kind of know, is that Gorik is looking for something. That he is raiding all these homesteads in search of something. And they recently just found out that Gorik went to these ruins called Zakata. If you are following my shorts, right, this is what just happened at the very, very end of that. You can follow along with all the action. And after they got out of the secret tunnel, they tracked down the hobgoblin chief. And in that fight, right, I was convinced that I had found this way for the players to interrogate this hobgoblin chief. Zaire, I'm like, okay, this is an important NPC. He's going to be more useful alive than dead, right? He has information, he has utility. I'm going to try to tilt the battle in my favor so the players will keep this hobgoblin alive and get this information. This hobgoblin knows where Gorik is. This hobgoblin knows where the next part of the plot is. And so I wanted to give it to them in a logical way. In the adventure, the players get to these ruins just randomly, right? They go back to town, they ask somebody, and the people in the town say, oh, go into the swamp and ask the horse people, and the horse people just take you there. It's probably the weakest part of this adventure. I think I criticized it last time on stream. But what ended up happening, wait for it, is during the fight, I did all the things right? I had the Zaire, the hobgoblin chief, he was yelling stuff to the PCs, cluing them in that he knew information that they wanted. I had him stop the fight by, threatening to kill a hostage, and so they had time to negotiate. They successfully negotiated. They say, okay, we will back off if you give us the information, right? It was exactly like how I laid it in my mind. I was really staying high on my horse, oh, I'm such a great DM. This is going to work out perfectly. It's going to make sense. They're going to get the information the right way, the way that makes sense narratively. But players are, of course, players. They betrayed the hobgoblin chief at the very last minute, and he just walked away. They didn't get the information, and then I was stuck. And then so I had to do the dumb little plot in the adventure all along. I just had them to go randomly meet these horse people who took them to these ruins. It was actually a really cool scene. The horse people are chevals. They are horses that can turn into centaurs. So I had a cool negotiating scene there. I had learned something about my place I never wanted to know. And so that's where we're going to start next session, in these ruins of Zakata. They know this guy Gorik is here, and they know that Gorik is a member of the Iron Ring, that group of criminals and slavers that they hate. And they also know that he is looking for something. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. First, I'm going to try to sort of brush over this adventure, and I'm going to take some of what I learned and write it into my document. Whew. Hi, Michael. Thanks for stopping by, Joshua. I'm glad you appreciate the music. It is Zelda Lo-Fi by Mika. I think the link might be in the description. I don't know. Follow my shorts. Yeah. Yo, my shorts are crushing it for folks who are, longtime viewers of this channel. The Secret Tunnel one's almost at 300,000 views, which is way better than anything I've ever done so far. Sword and Sandals. Yeah, it's like Sword and Sorcery, same sort of thing. I believe originally they were sort of debating, like the original progenitors of the genre were debating what was the best term for it. Yeah, but I typically run sort of lowish fantasy games, and especially this one that's in this setting, like a desert setting, it really, an ancient Persia theme, it all sort of like clicks. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this adventure, the Ruins of Zakata. Ooh, a river crossing. No, so I just made them in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. A squad of Iron Ring warriors controls the plan. Okay, there's search for Stefan. That's what they're doing here, right? One of the homesteaders, remember the homestead was being besieged by goblins at the very beginning of the adventure. And Stefan's the guy supposed to pay them for the horses, and he's been missing this whole time. Lost Mines of Fandelver is based on this adventure, by the way. Gork has a treasure map. Duh. So, they're looking for Stefan. He's clever, likely will escape from the party. Okay, so we got to try to make him flee. That's going to be cool. The Ruins. As described by the man horse describe it, a broken tower rises over the escarpment. At its foot, hidden among the tangled gullies, lie the ruins of Zakata. So it's like a valley, which is cool, because so far they've been in the desert, but the way I described it is these horse people sort of like, instead of tree stride, they rock stride. They like ran to cliffs and like popped down in other parts of the mountains. So these folks are probably far away from the desert, and it could be a cool jungle scene, which would be a nice break. A nice little, actually that's going to be really cool. We're going to do a little valley jungle, or valley forest, because that'll be a good break in the scenery. Alright, yeah, it is Mikel, Zelda and Chill, the music. Thank you, Ross, I'm glad you appreciate it. Sword and Sandals was also used to describe a lot of the old gladiator movies and Greek mythology from the 1950s and 60s. I'm not sure if I knew that, but thank you for bringing it up. I can definitely see it. All right. Several troops of rock baboons live here, as well as Yellow Fang, the Goblin clan. Okay, I'm sick of goblins, so we're gonna just drop them. They've finished up. They're finished with those. So I'm gonna, mental note, I'm gonna need some other servants there. Golthar, Vlok, the Hobgoblin. Vlok was Zaire, and they already dealt with him. Okay. So is Golthar gonna be here by himself? You know what? I think if I'm going to stick to the adventure, I think he is gonna be here by himself, because the players got rid of the goblins and their boss. So Golthar is going to be pretty much unprotected. And he's probably going to be scared of these rock baboons. I wonder what a rock baboon is. You know what it's going to be? Oh, shucks, I don't have it here. In Galder's Gazetteer, there's a whole section of monster templates, and one of them is a rock monsters. Like if you want to make like a stone beasts, and that's exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to take the giant ape stats, or like the ape demon stats, and lay the rock stone beast template on it. That's exactly what it's going to be. Link in the description. All right. A wild welcome. The apes are 50 yards away are a foraging troop of wild rock baboons. They charge for the party and attack, hurling stones and screeching as they run. Okay. So it's in the streets here. So I think I want to kind of run this maybe as like an exploration thing. Okay, so here's an idea. What I think I'm going to do is draw like a mini map, right? Instead of doing like a 1-inch grid, or like, 1 inch equals 5 feet, I'm gonna do like 1 inch equals like 100 yards, and draw like a whole like map out of the city, and then give them like one little token that represents the party to move along on the map, and they're gonna find all these little buildings. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. Okay, the high ground. They're attacked by giant bats. I've already used giant bats once. The giant bats were with the hobgoblins, so maybe these are gone too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show all the guano, because I want the players to understand that because of their actions, the bats are no longer here. They'll remember fighting off the bats. And so maybe, you know what, if someone passes their Arcana check, we can give them like an extra fireball or something with the guano. Yeah, hey Phil. Phil, thank you for being so active in the Discord. I appreciate all your contributions. Minor buildings. Any inhabitants of Zakata attack the party on sight. But unless the adventurers enter the building or deliberately make their presence known, the occupants of the salt models will not notice them. Baboons, goblins are all dead. So you know what? We'll show the goblin camp. That'll be cool. You know, I think they'll add to the eeriness too. So here is something where I'm changing the adventure, right? I am linking this adventure to a bigger campaign that I'm going to run over the next, 12 months or so, hopefully. These ruins in the adventure are just like random ruins. They're like part of this one lost civilization this guy's actually trying to get to. And what I'm going to do is that's going to be the long lost Yuan Ti. They are a group of humans who turned themselves into snakes and then destroyed their entire species. Like all the Yuan Ti got turned to pillars of salt. And the players know this. The players know that this is like background lore in the world. It's something that was like a beeline in the last campaign they're really interested in. And these are going to be ruins of that civilization. Right now, the players think that the map that Golnar has, the bad guy, they think this map is to the City of Dragons, the City of Zir. That's what all their characters think. And that's what all the players think too. But what they're going to learn is that it's actually a map to the city of this Yuan Ti. This one they really want to go to end the blight and the loom and lore. This thing that's deep in the world that they really want. So this is going to be, so all around the city, so all these goblin layers right here, they're not just going to be empty with the cooking pots. They're also going to be clues as to what type of civilization this is. They're going to find the hieroglyphs of the Yuan Ti. They are going to find the pillars of salt that these people became. Just like, that'd be really cool. There'll be traps. If you touch it, you'll start to like, it's so caustic, it'll burn your hands. All right. Eventually, once I'm done like brushing through this, I'm going to write some of this stuff down. But I think really this is like good enough prep for me trying to get these things into my mind. I write it on the notes so I can put them up on my Patreon. Yeah, they're going to show up. Not everything's just wrong. Everything's already gone. Like, the Yuan Ti destroyed themselves thousands of years ago. And then more recently, all the Wood Elves tried to copy the Yuan Ti and destroyed themselves too. Which is why you can't play Wood Elves in my setting. That was 2 campaigns ago. That only one of the current players was in that game, but everyone else knows about. Everyone knows that trying to copy the Yuan Ti destroyed the Wood Elves. And so when they figure out that this is going to be a hint to actually solving that bigger problem or resolving that bigger storyline, the players are going to be ecstatic. It's not the city that we think it's been, it's this other city that we really, really want as players and as people invested in the campaign setting. It's going to be really cool. There's no way we know what's going to happen until it falls out of our mouths. Yeah. Alright, so front and rear lobbies, 8 ordinary goblins. So I think Golnar's still going to have maybe like some servants with him. He's going to have, instead of goblins, he's going to have just regular reavers of the Iron Ring. And maybe people that he's, thralls, right? People that he captured as slaves, but he's managed to turn to him from one way or another. I think Golnar's going to be a minor magic user. Okay, a hall. And so at the end of this valley, I guess there's just one tower. So it's not going on in the settlement. It's like a minor settlement. So the tower's probably going to be, looks like it's the main focus. A plaza and entrance, that's cool. So what I wanted to do here is in Tales of the Yawning Portal, there's that one adventure, the ruins of Takamaka, or I'm not even gonna try to say it. It's like the Aztec themed adventure, and I've never run that dungeon. So I think this Gulthar's Tower is going to be my excuse to do that. Okay. 2 gelatinous cubes. Oh, those are fun. We've done that campaign. Old library. Giant spiders. Okay, so one's going to be... What I like about these older campaigns is they really tell you like how the monsters are acting. One attacks as the party enters, but the other remains hidden with her brood amongst the webs, attacking only if approached or threatened. The young are harmless. Within the spider's nest is an ebony writing set inlaid with ivory. Nice. There are scrolls written in Hakuotan, which is going to be the UNT language. Births, marriages, deaths. You need a read language spell to read it. Flax quarters. Alright, so real quick, you need a read language spell to do this. So last session I gave my players a handout, right? I thought it was just for fun. There's a picture in my Discord, but I drew like some Egypt-style dragon-headed people with hieroglyphs in the background, you know. And on the back of it I wrote some lore, you know, just like a pretty piece of art to sort of like engage them. But one of my players is a conspiracy theorist. You know, something we really want in your players. They want to think of conspiracy about your game because it's how they are engaged. It's great. But she's just trying to decode the hieroglyphics. And I'm really disappointed in myself because I probably could have actually done that. So this time, with these hieroglyphics, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to make it actually a little code that they can try to decode or decipher. And the reason they can't read the other one is because it's impervious to magic. It's impervious to being decoded. The language is really lost. Okay. Hidden beneath the litter in the fountain are 10 small gold ingots. Okay, so this is just the dungeon. But you know what I think? I think this is enough, right? I think I'm going to take the dungeon from Tales of the Yawning Portal and just substitute it in for right here. I'm not sure there's anything that's in this part that's any better than what's going to be found in that dungeon. Okay, art gallery. Faded glories, portraits. Oh, this would be a nice one. You know, I'm probably going to abbreviate that dungeon and maybe just blend these two together, right? I don't know. I don't have a PDF of that dungeon, so I'm going to have to just read it tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning, and try to see if I'm going to use it. I think like written dungeons are actually pretty easy to do on the fly. Like if you just give it like a once over, you can sort of like go room by room and figure it out. And we haven't done like a proper dungeon crawl yet this campaign, so that'll be a nice change of pace. But I want to see what Gulthar knows and what Stefan knows. So after being captured during the goblin attack, he was taken with the others, and here, we know that. As Akada, he was interrogated the prisoners, demanding to know where the golden tapestries were. Okay. Right. So, right there. This is where they get the hint that the thing they were looking for was the tapestry, which they kind of already suspect. One of the players was kind of already guessing that might be what's going on. So at the very beginning, when the goblins were raiding all these homesteads, they were burning them down. And the players know that they're looking for magic items because they interrogated some of the goblins. And at the homestead, there were 2 magic items. There was a tapestry, which is like hidden, or not hidden, but just like kept in the dining hall. And they said it was there since they found it. It just looked pretty. And then there was a water wheel that turned the Red River into clean drinking water. And so the natural assumption was that, oh, the goblins were after the water wheel because it has value. It turns the arid desert water into water that can be used. But really, they're after the tapestry. And, you know, the players are clever. I think they've realized I was trying to mislead them, and so they focused heavily on the tapestry, and this is going to be the confirmation for that. And that's going to be okay. That'll be great. It's going to be the reward. They're going to be like, oh, we weren't being paranoid. We figured it out. And so that's going to be really the real reward for rescuing Stefan, is getting that confirmation. And the fact that he's the one who owes them money, allegedly. Okay. None of the other prisoners knew that we're taking to the tower. Oh, and that's it, right? Okay. Jade living statues? Oh, that'll be cool. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to do that. Do they, are the Jade statues different from any other type of golem? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna switch over to the writing document and make some notes of what needs to happen here. Okay. Give me 1 second while I go ahead and switch these over. How you doing there, chat? Yeah, I'm gonna try to kit bash the adventure pretty much. Okay. So let's see now. This is all the part that's happening on the shorts. If you're following along on my shorts, like I did give a little counters on my campaign. Here's the dwarf. See now, his goat ran away and the manticore has it. One of the characters got killed by the manticore. Yeah. Rosiris can grant passage to the tunnel. Giant wasps were there. They killed the giant wasp. They rescued the urns. And then they later traded that favor for the introductions to the Cheval. Which, so you know what? And this is going to be a little backtrack here. That's probably a lesson I should probably share with you folks, right? Like I said earlier in the stream, when the players met the Hobgoblin Chief who had the information, right? It was going to be a negotiation, and they negotiated something, right? He was just going to walk away and give them the information. They could walk away with the prisoners, and it would be okay. But they betrayed him, and they just took the treasure. And so I wanted to make that have a cost, right? They went back on their deal. They didn't get the information, so I wanted it to cost something. And what it cost them was this favor. When they cleared out the shrine and rescued the urns, the Dwarf King, or the Dwarf Sheik, said, hey, I owe you one. And then now they cashed in that I owe you one to get the information of where the ruins are. So instead of having a favor for the dwarf, they got the gold when they betrayed the Hobgoblin Chief. And I sort of wanted to rub that in maybe at the start of next session, or the next time they run into that chief. This is not Word, this is Open Office. Okay. So the ruins that got led there by the Cheval, Lodsome. They rode on their backs. Now they owe them 5 free horses. They must free 5 horses. The Cheval, they turn into centaurs. They don't like the fact that, you know, humans keep horses in corrals. And the party start off this mission like on a horse trade. So when they go eventually rescue their horses, maybe if they ever do, they're starting at the very start of this mission, they're gonna have to let 5 of them go. Okay. So things in Sagaka. Okay. We know we want a empty room where the goblins bivouacked. How do you spell bivouacked? Okay. See, everything else is just a typo. I don't really care, but I wanted to know how to spell bivouacked. Also, hieroglyphics. Of UNT. Okay. So let's see now what else is going to be in here. We have the cliffs with giant guano. They killed the giant bats earlier. Now it's going to be it's going to be a +3 magic component. If cast Fireball, +3 save DC and damage. That would be cool. A one-time use thing to make their spells better. I don't think anyone has Fireball. Oh well. Oh, I've never used Notion. Are you getting your own session ready tonight? Nice. What level are your characters? Timothy says that he is making a homebrew class while listening. What class? And Timothy, did you catch out the stream with the Indestructible I did last week about the Alchemist class? We did a whole hour-long stream about, you know, designing and publishing, that sort of thing. Okay. You know what? They're going to need half of what they need. Okay. And then we're going to have a temple with a shrine of the Silver Monkey. You put the 3 pieces together and get X. All right, chat, I need a prize. Whoever watched Legends of the Hidden Temple as a kid? Remember there's like that one place with the shrine of the Silver Monkey, no one could ever figure out the head goes on top. So I'm gonna do a similar something like that. Like maybe I'll look at Wally's channel and find a little puzzle. Or maybe I can make the little monkey pieces like a MacGuffin that to find them in the dungeon and then put them together. All 3 together and get a prize. A spell sword. Gish, classic homebrew class. Exactly. Eldritch Knight is fun if you want something with more magic with a sword. Red Mage. Okay. So I need to think of that. Some sort of prize they get for putting the Shrine of the Temple Monkey. We need roaming bands of stone baboons. Giant ape with stone beast template from Galder's. Okay. We're gonna have more empty room with hieroglyphics and pillar of salt. So I'm gonna maybe put this on top. This is gonna be like the wandering monster, the random encounter in here. This is gonna be the one on 11. Oh, and here's the other thing I wanted to do, right? Random encounter on a 12. So, something I do in my campaigns is for session 0, I give the players control of like an enemy faction or an important NPC. And they play out a little vignette from those people's point of view. And then they have like, and the resolution of that initial scene plays off in the campaign. So during that initial scene, all the players took the role of the other Masters of the Iron Ring. The other members on the council that Golnar, the bad guy, is on, that they're after here. And during that little vignette, they decided they were going to send somebody after Golnar to spy on him to make sure he was doing his job. And they're going to run into her. I forget her name. The chief magic user. They know she's in the area because they saw her in another city. And one of the characters, Vikram, is running from her. And she also thinks Golnar has has mapped to Zir, the Dragon City. So she also has misinformation. She also has the wrong idea in her head. So one of the characters, his name is Vikram, right? But unilaterally, I just decided that one of the characters is from an area that they can't say the V sound. So she always calls him Weekrum. Just a little bit of world building. Okay. All right, and then what's going to be our random encounter 11? Or a random encounter 10. So I need like a clue that one of these things is going to happen. Encounter 10. A patrol of Iron Ring. Okay. No, I think this patrol of the Iron Ring needs to be like a guarantee. These are going to be Naar servants, right? Yeah. So you got the Cliff, Control of Iron Ring, Gorix, men. Not necessarily. They're going to be Gorix thralls. One lower ranking, or two lower ranking members. And one thrall. Okay, so the challenge with this patrol, right? It's only 3 goons. So the challenge is not going to be can we kill them all? It's going to be are they going to be able to run away and sound the alert or something like that. Keotom's ointment. What's that? Whatever it is, yeah, that's what I'm going to use for the monkey prize. Is that like a magic item in the DMG or something? Whatever it is, I love it. Thanks, Ross. I'm glad that you are liking me watch, getting the secret sauce, so to speak. We're getting the behind the scenes look into how I sort of put together my sessions. All right. So when I'm actually playing, I usually just have this document up and then like music playing on my computer, and that's it. That's about it. Maybe some stat blocks. But this little thing right here is what I'm going to run pretty much the entire session from. Okay. There's something else I wanted here. Shucks. Oh well. All right, and then we have the tower, right? Looms over the setting or the valley. Okay. The tower goes into dungeon. So I think I've like skimmed through that dungeon before. The one in Tales from the Yawning Portal. I forget what it's called, the Aztec one. But in that dungeon, there's like poison that's sort of like everywhere. And so there's a random poison gas. It's going to be the Blight. And that's going to be another hint that this goes back to the UNT, goes back to the Wood Elves, goes back to the Loom. Pardon me, folks. Okay. Read beforehand. Yes, that's what I'll be doing like tomorrow morning. Maybe before work. I'll go ahead and read that. Maybe when I'm feeding the baby. All right. So what else do I need to do here? I think she has 2 goons with her. They've met the goons before. In the end. So they've had runs with these 2 goons. And so maybe if they spot the goons, then they'll spot her. This will be a really fun encounter. Do I want to do it as a random one, though? That's a good question. Do I want to have this happen no matter what? Or maybe not no matter what, but one of the places that they could go to in the city instead of just having it randomly. I think so. I think so because she's strong enough to be a recurring villain. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna put that in here too. Alright, so I need another random encounter for a 12. The 10 is going to be the warning. You spot the goons. Spot her goons. Okay, the ones from the end. That'll be a warning. Okay, and random encounter. So what I do is 10s are usually like warnings of serious encounters. 11s are either medium encounters or have to do with the environment, and 12s are hard encounters or progress the story. That's my usual scheme for random encounters. Okay. So random encounter 12. I don't know. What I should do is pull up I don't know. Chat, help me out here. What would be a random encounter you would find in the ruins of, like, fantasy Mesoamerica? The spirits of temple guards? Okay. Non-Yuan-Ti who were at the site when they went extinct. Have you ever played Morrowind, the Yuan-Ti are the Dwemer, right? Or the Dwemer, however you pronounce it. Were Jaguars! Yo! Yo, that's sick! Oh, they phase in and out. They're gonna be like... Oh. They're like displacer beasts. Okay. That's sick. Nice. That's awesome. So cool. Scorpions, giant centipedes. Yeah, we'll put that, we'll put that here. Displace a chupacabra. Society of Jaguar folks tasked with protecting their temple. Yeah, that's what these were, right? These folks were. These were going to be people who were at the site, who were working with the Yuan-Ti, but were themselves not part of that clan because they were already part Jaguar. And then when the Yuan-Ti went poof, they got trapped in sort of like this weird spirit realm, so like the spirit of these temple guards. A cockatrice. I like the scorpion here. But you know what? I'm going to throw some of those other ones. It's disturb, nest, and quarter. Okay. So a cockatrice, that's a good one. We'll put that in here in 11. Because they need a second encounter. On the loose. Alright, so a single cockatrice is not exactly a challenge. So I want to put some sort of like twist with this. It can jump roof to roof to evade them. Okay. That'll be fun, right? And it's light. The players will fall through the rubble. There we go. Perfect. I spelled roofs like hooves. Okay. I think this is looking pretty solid, right? So the main points are going to be literally exploring the city, right? Getting down into the area and then moving the little token around the mini map from building to building. That'll be fun, right? Seeing the cliff of the giant bat guano, that's where they're going to start out. They can run into a patrol sometime. It's going to be like random, right? Just wherever I need one. But this is one that's going to be like a defined encounter. Between where they are and the tower, they're going to get some clue about what's going in there. The empty building, the shrine, the silver monkey. Oh, so we need to figure out where the other bits of the silver monkey are. The goblins have one, of course, right? So hieroglyphs of U on T. It's going to have the head of the monkey. Okay, you know what? This is good because it's going to encourage the players to explore this whole little valley. If they find the shrine and realize, okay, here's the base, we need to find the head in the middle. Okay. The goons are going to have the middle. Oh my gosh, I love this. And so they're going to have two chances to get the middle of the goons. From there and then from here. Alright. And you know what? That fits with, the chief magic user. Of course, she's a puzzle. She's going to try to solve it because there might be knowledge there. Excellent. Alright. So is this going to have the other half of... No, it's going to have none of the hieroglyphics that they need, right? Okay. And pillars of salt. So you know what? That's going to be probably everywhere, right? With half hieroglyphics. Okay. I think this is going to be good. I think I have enough to sort of keep this session running. We have a nice little roleplay encounter right here. This whole thing is going to be sort of them exploring. There's lots of little pieces for them to touch and things for them to mess around with. Some nice treasure to find. And eventually they can start uncovering some secrets. Tomorrow I need to draw out the handout that's going to have the hieroglyphics. Like, I went all out, folks. Like, I'm probably going to have to make a video on this. I have a little, you know what, you have to just wait for until I actually make it, and for me to show it off. But yeah, this was great. Chat, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate all your help. I put these notes up on my $1 Patreon along with all the other previous encounter prep streams. I leave these up for, a week or so until I do another one. If you have some thoughts or some other ideas, I still read everything if I can't respond. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See ya!